didn't know that because we had talked about that before, you know, and it wasn't said like that. So I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I'm lost.
Y'all, I'm not even gonna lie, what just went down in that courtroom had everybody speechless. Stormi pulled up calm, collected, and ready, but the second she opened that folder, the entire room shifted. You could feel it. The tension, the shock, and the silence that followed? It was like the air got sucked right out of the building. Marsau didn't move, didn't blink, and LaTisha? She couldn't even sit through it. What Stormi brought to court that day didn't just shake things up, it blew everything wide open. Now, for weeks, people have been whispering about the situation between Stormi and Marsau. Little comments online, screenshots floating around, and fans connecting dots that nobody wanted to admit were real. But this wasn't some gossip blog rumor anymore. This was court-certified truth.
Is there something that was said on camera that made you feel that way?
Was it? No, not on camera, not with the show, no. More so in interviews. Like interviews.
My interview?
I can't remember if it was your interview, but it was other interviews for sure.
When those papers hit the table, it was no longer speculation. It was proof. And y'all, what happened next was straight out of a movie. Before we get to that wild courtroom moment, let's rewind just a little bit because this story didn't start overnight. It's been brewing for months, maybe even longer. And if you've been watching Love and Marriage, Huntsville, you already know Marsau and LaTisha have been holding on by a thread. Every season, it's been the same question: is Marsau really faithful? Fans have asked it. Cast members have hinted it. Even LaTisha herself has looked unsure more than once. But she always stood by her man, defending him every single time.
It's been a tough year. It's been a tough year. Not for me, but for the people that are around me. And so I just want to say that God is a good God. God is a good God, and He's brought us through a lot.
She'd smile through the rumors, laugh it off, and post those happy family pictures like everything was fine. But behind the scenes, something was breaking, and Stormi was right in the middle of it. Stormi had been quiet for a long time. And if you know Stormi, you know that's not her. She's usually online promoting Canvas Beauty, sharing her moves, her wins, her family moments, just positive energy all around. But a few weeks before this court drama exploded, something changed. Her page went dark. No new posts. No stories. No live videos. Fans started noticing real quick.
I think that if you date women and you see how it is, Carlos, I think you might just like it. I think you might get delivered. Just try once. Just like, ooh, no.
One comment went viral saying, "Stormi been too quiet lately, something's definitely up." And they weren't wrong. Sources say Stormi was dealing with something heavy behind closed doors. Something that had her questioning everything: her peace, her privacy, even her circle. People close to her say she wasn't sleeping much. She'd been meeting with lawyers, and when folks asked why, she brushed it off. But now, we know exactly why. Because when she finally reappeared, she didn't come with words. She came with evidence. Now here's where the story gets wild. Reports started floating that Stormi had legal documents connecting Marsau to something personal. Not business, not property, something life-changing. People thought it was just another rumor. But those who saw her that morning said she walked into that courthouse looking like a woman who already knew how it was gonna end. No flashy outfit. No extra attention. Just that same calm energy she's known for. And right behind her? Her cousin, her assistant, and a small folder in her hand. Meanwhile, Marsau showed up looking uneasy. Normally, he's confident, even cocky, but that day, it was different. His eyes were low, his voice was quiet. Even LaTisha, usually glowing with confidence, seemed tense. They walked in together, but fans who were there said there was space between them. Not physical space, emotional space. Like two people standing next to each other but miles apart. Then came the moment. When the judge called the case, Stormi stood, and her lawyer handed over the documents. That's when everything flipped. It was a paternity filing official paperwork backed by lab results. And y'all, the report didn't lie. 99.99%. Marsau was the biological father. The room went still. No one breathed. Marsau's face turned completely blank, like his soul just left his body. And LaTisha? She froze. You could see the confusion, the disbelief, and then that raw hurt just took over. One woman sitting in the back said she heard LaTisha whisper, "No, this can't be real." But it was. Because right there, stamped and sealed, was the proof Stormi had been holding onto for weeks. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, Stormi didn't just wake up and decide to drop this bomb. According to people close to her, she tried to handle it quietly. She reached out multiple times, but Marsau allegedly dodged her. Then, when she realized he wasn't taking responsibility, she went through legal channels. She didn't make an Instagram live. She didn't call out names. She handled it the mature way through court. And that's exactly why her move hit harder than anything the internet's seen in a while. Because this wasn't about drama, this was about truth. But here's where things got even messier. The second the judge confirmed the DNA match, LaTisha lost it. Witnesses said she slammed her hand on the table so hard that it echoed through the courtroom. She started shouting, saying it was all a setup, that people were trying to ruin her family. Her voice cracked not out of anger, but out of pain. Real, deep heartbreak. You could see her trying to keep her composure, but she just couldn't hold it in. Security had to step in to calm her down because she was shaking. That woman was broken in real time. And Marsau? He just sat there. No words. No reaction. Not even an apology. He just lowered his head and stayed still while everything around him fell apart. Fans online are calling it the most shocking moment in love and marriage, Huntsville history. One post read, "LaTisha always defended that man, and this is how he repays her? My heart hurts for her." Another said, "Stormi did what needed to be done." You can't keep playing with people's lives and think the truth won't come out. The footage from inside the courthouse hasn't officially dropped yet, but there are blurry clips circulating. You can see LaTisha pointing and crying while Stormi is standing calm, her hands folded. No shouting, no pettiness, just quiet strength. It's that calm after the storm that makes people say, yeah, she came prepared. After the court hearing ended, reporters tried to get statements, but Stormi didn't say a word. Her lawyer spoke briefly, saying only, "The truth has been confirmed." And with that, they walked out together. Meanwhile, Marsau left separately. Sources say he didn't even ride back with LaTisha. That silence between them said everything. Now, what really had people talking was what happened later that night. LaTisha went live for about 90 seconds, clearly emotional. She didn't say much, just said, "Everybody has a limit. Don't ever make a fool out of the person who protected you." Then she logged off. And y'all, that live hit over 500,000 views in under an hour. Fans flooded her comments with prayers and heartbreak emojis. But while people were showing love to LaTisha, others were applauding Stormi. They said she did what most people are too scared to do, stand up for herself, even if it meant exposing someone powerful. One comment that went viral said, "Stormi didn't destroy the family. Marsau did. She just brought receipts." But here's the twist: word on the street is that this DNA case wasn't just about confirming the truth. It's also tied to financial responsibility. Meaning Stormi might be seeking legal support. That explains why she lawyered up early and kept everything quiet until it was official. She wanted no confusion, no, she said. Just cold, hard proof. People who know Marsau say he's been trying to keep things private, but after that 99.99% result came out, there's no spinning it. Screenshots have even surfaced showing text messages where Marsau allegedly asked Stormi to keep things between the messages that match his texting style almost perfectly. Whether those are real or not, fans have already made up their minds. social media detectives have been pulling old clips from the show moments where Marsau would get defensive whenever Stormi's name came up. One clip from last season is trending again because of how awkward it looks now. He was asked about rumors linking him to someone close to the cast, and the way he laughed it off, that forced chuckle, that quick glance at the camera, it's chilling now. Even more eerie, people are pointing out that Stormi's husband had been unusually quiet during all this too. Some say that silence might have been strategy, that he already knew the truth and wanted to let Stormi handle it in her own way, without making it uglier than it already was. And y'all, you know the internet. Once fans start digging, there's no stopping them. A few even found deleted photos from Marsau's social media that lined up with dates mentioned in court filings. Late-night check-ins, trips, and random business meetings that now look suspicious in hindsight. Fans are piecing together timelines like detectives, and every new connection just makes the story darker. But let's be honest, this isn't just about one man's mistake. This is about years of denial, years of deflection, and a woman like LaTisha trying to hold her family together while everyone whispered behind her back. People are divided online. Some say Stormi should have stayed quiet for the sake of peace, while others say she had every right to stand in her truth. But one thing's for sure, nothing will ever be the same again. After the courtroom chaos, production sources say cameras were rolling outside. That means this whole fallout could make it into the next season. And if it does, it's going to be explosive. Because how do you sit across from someone who just blew your entire marriage apart with one folder of documents? LaTisha has reportedly stepped back from filming for now. She's focusing on her kids and business. Friends say she's devastated but trying to stay strong. One close source told a blogger, "LaTisha's not just hurt, she feels humiliated. She built her whole image around being loyal, and now the world's watching her crumble." And Stormi? She's moving differently. After the court hearing, she dropped a new campaign for her brand with the caption, "Peace starts with truth." Fans instantly connected the dots. Within hours, her product sold out again. Some are calling it poetic justice, turning pain into purpose. Now, some folks are wondering if this court case will open more doors, legally or personally. If the child is proven to be Marsau's, it changes everything, not just his marriage, but his business partnerships and public image too. Remember, Marsau's built his brand around being a family man and entrepreneur. But after this, sponsors might start pulling back. People are already questioning if LaTisha will stay or walk away completely. And let's be real, if you've been watching her over the years, you know she's loyal to a fault. But loyalty cuts both ways. Fans are begging her to choose herself this time. One tweet that's been reposted thousands of times says, "LaTisha, love yourself enough to leave what keeps breaking you." It's heartbreaking because this isn't just a storyline anymore, it's real life, and it's messy. Now, let's talk about the emotional weight of all this. Because behind the gossip and the headlines, there are real people hurting. Stormi may have found strength in that courtroom, but imagine what it took to get there. The sleepless nights, the judgment, the fear of backlash. And LaTisha watching everything she thought was solid crumble right in front of strangers. That pain runs deep. Marsau, on the other hand, is reportedly not responding to any media requests. He's gone silent, no posts, no interviews, nothing. Maybe it's guilt. Maybe it's strategy. But silence speaks louder than words sometimes, and right now, it's deafening. People say karma always comes quietly, but when it hits hard. And this? This was that moment. Stormi's calm confidence, the way she carried herself, and the undeniable truth she brought forward changed everything in one afternoon. What was once a whisper turned into a roar that nobody could ignore. The truth didn't just come out, it demanded to be seen. And y'all, here's the most powerful part. When that hearing ended, and LaTisha was escorted out crying, Stormi didn't celebrate. She didn't gloat. She just gathered her things, took a deep breath, and walked away. Because for her, it wasn't about revenge. It was about peace. And that's something you can't fake. This story is still unfolding, but one thing's clear, the truth always finds its way out. No matter how long it hides, no matter how many people deny it, it always comes through even if it shatters everything in the process. So now the question isn't just what happens next? It's who will survive what comes after. Because when the lies fade and the cameras stop rolling, what's left are the consequences, raw, real, and permanent. And for Marsau and LaTisha, the world they once knew just ended, all because Stormi finally decided to tell the truth.